Welcome to the Billionaire Journey Podcast. This is episode 46. It means that it's the 46th day that we have been podcasting because we started our podcast and we decided to, uh, share something, right? Continue to serve you every single day. Anyways, today what we're going to talk about is how to increase sales in your business. That is the different ways by which you can increase sales in your business. You see, whether you're a small business owner or a sales professional, everyone can benefit from boosting their sales numbers. And before I go on, I want to say thank you very much. All of you are the reason we've decided to come to this point, because without you listeners, I don't know, maybe we'll just be speaking to ourselves, but you listening to this podcast actually encourage us to continue to do more. So what are the ways that you can increase sales? One way to increase sales is by identifying your target audience and tailoring your marketing and sales efforts towards them. So it's important, number one, to identify your target audience, right? So it's because when you know your audience, it's easier to be able to talk to your audience in a better way. It's easier to be able to tailor your content to them. And that is why not just identifying your audience, but also tailoring your marketing and sales efforts towards them. This includes understanding their need, right? Understanding their pain points and their desires. And you will now need to position your product or service as a solution to those needs, right? So you've identified your audience, you know what their needs are, or you know their desires, or you know their pain points that you want to address. Now just position your product, right, or service as a solution to this pain point. Another way to increase sales is by building trust and credibility with your customers. Maybe this is something that we should discuss in our next episode. How do you build trust and credibility with your customers? This can be done through social proof, such as customer testimonials and case studies, as well as by demonstrating your expertise in your feed. We actually talked about it in the previous episode, but I think it's just worth us repeating again. Now, that is not all. You need to stay up to date on industry trends and continually educate yourself on new products and services. This will not only help you stay competitive, but it will also give you new ideas for upselling and cross-selling your product to your customers. All right, because one of the ways to stay updated is you listening to a podcast like this. Another way you could set up a Google alert so that you get alert on industry trends and information. How to set up Google alerts, right? Maybe it's one of the things that we're going to talk about later as well, because I don't really like when our episodes get very long, except in some cases. All right, so stay educated. There's one thing that I learned from Tony Robbins is the idea that you need to develop a lifelong learning attitude. Lifelong learning attitude, and that is one of the ways to stay relevant, stay competitive, and be on top of your game. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. You see, many sales professionals even make the mistake of assuming the customer isn't interested, when in reality, they just need a little push. Sometimes, even when you're trying to date a person, it's not the first time that you ask the person out that the person will say yes to you. Sometimes they just need time, or they need that extra push. So be confident and ask for the sale, but also be respectful of the customer's decision. So you don't push too much, right? But at the same time, Don't say because someone says no to you first, then you wouldn't, you don't follow up. So remember, increasing sale is all about understanding your customers' needs, building trust and credibility, staying up to date on industry trends, and being confident in your pitch. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Billionaire Journey Podcast, and I hope that you got value from there. Please consider sharing this podcast with your friends on different social media that you are. Thank you, and see you on the next episode. Bye.